Washington game, the Tampa Bay Carolina game, and the Seattle LA Chargers game. All the others I got right. So I went 10-3 last week. That does not include Thursday night, just like this week does not include Thursday night football. So I don't, with the way Thursday night's been, I don't even pick that game. It's not even worth it. But so Denver, Jacksonville. I'm going to go Jacksonville. Carolina, Atlanta. I'm going Carolina today. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I think they have a lot they're trying to prove. 3-0 in the division. They go 4-0 division. So I think they got something to prove right now. That's really the only thing they can prove for the season. So it's like, hey, let's get to number one. We did decent, and we're probably gonna fall apart at that. But again, like I mentioned earlier, we need that number one pick. So let's stop doing that. But I'm gonna go with Carolina. Chicago, Dallas. I think Dallas is, as much as it hurts me to say it, I think Dallas is back to being almost a contender. Can they make mistakes? Yes. Is this the time usually in the season they fall apart? Yes. So in the next couple weeks, I would say in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that point, if they make it through and they still winning, I think they're definitely a contender this year. Miami, Detroit. I'm going to go Miami. Arizona, Minnesota. Las Vegas, New Orleans. I'm going to go Las Vegas on that one. New England, New York Jets. I'm going New York Jets. Pitt, Philly. Philly's going to stay undefeated. I don't think they'll lose until maybe the Super Bowl if they make it. That's my opinion on that. They're good. I think and there are trade rumors that Philly and New Orleans are trying to work a trade for Alvin Kamara. So keep your eyes on that. I think Philly's going all in this season. I think they're going to they're trying to get all the pieces they can before the trade deadline, and they're going all in because they have a good shot. Tennessee, Houston, Tennessee. Washington versus Indiana. I'm going Washington. San Francisco versus LA Rams. I'm going Rams. Giants versus Seattle. Going to Giants. I think they're going to keep rolling. Green Bay, Buffalo. I think this is going to be a good game. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make a little comeback. I think he's going to have to play well. But I think Buffalo is just too fast, too strong, too everything for Green Bay to beat them today. Cincinnati, Cleveland. I think that's the Monday night game. Going Cleveland. Something's up with Jamar Chase being out. Something's up. Yeah. Burrow had a good game last week, but I think with his number one target being out, it's going to cause some problems, and I'm going to say Cleveland. I think defensively, Cleveland's going to get in and stir up some stuff. Maybe get 3 or 4 sacks on Burrow and have him thinking a little bit. But that's my picks on that. So I'm going to go into maybe some of my prize picks. So what PrizePicks is, guys, if you don't know, and I got to find it on my phone, so if I pull up my app. It's a betting site. It's a site where you can bet on player props. You go in there and you can do 2, 3, 4, 5 leg kind of parlay style prop bets. You can pick the over and under on players, and it has all kinds of sports you can go. And you can do, I think you can do dollar bets, $2 bets, but I think the lowest I've ever done is 5. But it's fun. You don't have to put a lot in. It's something you can throw $20 in each weekend on Sunday or what sport you like, and you can make some $5 bets and have fun. It makes it a little bit more interesting. But I'm going to go over some of my picks for today. I went heavy on running backs. My running backs have been doing good for me on Sundays on the overs. So for one of my, it's a 2-pick power play. I picked Jonathan Taylor, more than 17.5 rushing attempts. I think that's definitely good. Jalen Hurts, fantasy scored over 22 points. My next that's a 2-person parlay. I got a 3 parlay right here. It's again Jonathan Taylor over 17.5 rushing attempts. Deontay Foreman 16.5 rushing attempts over. I did a rushing attempts on this one. Saquon Barkley 20.5 rushing attempts. I took the over on that, so I did a rushing on that. This is a 5 person parlay. This is my over on the rushing yards. I went heavy on these guys, the main ones, the heavy hitters each week. Nick Chubb over on 82.5 yards. Jonathan Taylor over on 76.5. Saquon Barkley 86.5. I took the over. Derrick Henry, which I wish I would have got on this earlier because it was at 100.5 and it's then got pushed up to 105.5, but I'm still taking the over on Derrick Henry. That's my, and Deontay Foreman 66.5 yards. I took more on that. The Derrick Henry's the only one that really scares me right now because it got pushed, but he's a beast, and I don't think that it got pushed 5 yards, so I need 5 extra yards. So I think he can do that. Now I did another 5 pick. Again, I went heavy on the running backs, and this was a rushing and receiving slip. I picked Deontay Foreman 81.5 rushing and receiving over. I took the over on Derrick Henry 119.5 over. Saquon Barkley I took 118.5 over. Jonathan Taylor 89.5 over, and Josh Jacobs 107.5 rushing and receiving. I took the over. Here's a 2 pick. Josh Jacobs 85.5 rushing yards. I took the over. Chris Olave 66.5 receiving. I took over. And my last picks of the day was Derrick Henry over on rushing yards 105.5 and Devontae Smith more than 4 receptions. So that's my picks for today on that. So, PrizePicks, like I said, is something fun. It's you can get into it. I think it has a minimum of a $10 deposit in the beginning or something like that. And I'm pretty sure I have no affiliation with them, so I don't get paid to make these comments. I don't get paid none of that. I don't get sponsored. I don't get none of that. It's just something that I found, and I think it's fun. And it makes sports a little bit more fun to watch when there's not really good games on. It gives you something to pay attention to and things like that. But NBA wise, let's go with the Hornets. They beat the Warriors last night. I got to watch a good bit of that game. Foul trouble caused the Warriors to lose towards the end. When I didn't get to watch the first half, or maybe I did right before halftime, but I watched the second half mostly. In the second half, we were up by like 13 or so when I first got on, and we just slowly let them come in. But when Curry's out there draining threes, that's not hard to do. And then they let them come back, and I really thought when we got in a back and forth, I really thought that we couldn't handle it, and I thought if we definitely went to overtime with the Warriors that we would lose. That wasn't the case. So we pulled that one out with Melo still and Rozier on the bench. So that's a good win. We definitely need Melo back. I don't know